Holly. Are you going to tell us something that's going to make us feel better? I don't know. I hope so. This story has meant a lot to me since I first learned it, and I hope that it provides something for us here. It is 1936 in Berlin, Germany. And the American track star, Jesse Owens, who's an African-American man, puts on one of the most impressive athletic performances in the history, I think, of mankind, certainly at the Olympics. He wins 4 gold medals. He becomes the fastest man in the world by winning the 100-meter dash. He wins the 200-meter dash. He's part of the 4x100 relay, which is where 4 people run around the track. And he jumps longer than anyone else in history in the long jump. And if you have ever seen the video of Jesse Owens from almost 100 years ago jumping, it defies belief. It's 1936 in Germany. Adolf Hitler is in charge. And the showcase of the Berlin Olympics is to prove to the world Aryan supremacy, white supremacy, to put it on display. Fascism of Germany was not expecting Jesse Owens. Adolf Hitler famously refuses to shake Jesse Owens' hand. Jesse Owens wins the gold medal, and because he is a veteran, when the national anthem of the United States plays, he salutes. You might have seen this picture. Surrounded by people doing the Nazi salute, Jesse Owens stands courageously. What do you notice about this picture? What do you notice? We notice the Nazi salutes. We notice all the sea faces. We wonder who that is maybe in front of him, not wearing the USA tracksuit. But what I want you to look at is something that very few people ever noticed. I certainly never noticed this when I saw this picture. Mike, can we go to the next slide? This is zoomed in and enhanced. Can anybody tell what he's holding? It's a sapling. A sapling of an oak tree. It is a young oak tree in his arms. He's holding a young tree in his arms. Every gold winner in the 1936 Olympics was given an oak tree sapling along with their gold medal. This was a symbol of German history. It was supposed to be a symbol of Aryan dominance, the hard oak, powerful oak. Jesse Owens got 4 of them. I think there were 24 American gold medals at that Olympics. Most folks said thank you very much and then promptly threw the Hitler oaks away when they got back to America, for obvious reasons. You wouldn't want to plant that in your backyard, perhaps, in middle America, perhaps. Thank you, Mike. Jesse Owens gets 4 of these. When he wins his gold medal, Adolf Hitler refuses to shake his hand. But when he comes back to America as an American hero, putting on one of the greatest performances in the history of humanity, President FDR refuses to shake his hand as well. It's 1936 in America, and Jesse Owens is a black man. When he's invited to the Waldorf Astoria to celebrate American heroes, he has to go in through the freight elevator. From one type of oppression to another. Jesse Owens' life after his Olympics is up and down. It's complicated. He's constantly trying to find jobs. He works as a janitor. He works as a delivery person. He works in the circus. He does these exhibition races to make money. So he said, I have 4 gold medals, but I cannot eat 4 gold medals. But he also comes back with these trees. And Jesse Owens, unlike the other athletes, does not throw his trees away. And he does the bravest thing he could do. He gets down on his hands and knees and digs into the dirt and plants these seeds, these trees. Jesse Owens is from Cleveland, Ohio. When he gets back to his neighborhood in 1936, during the Depression, the U.S. government institutes a policy called redlining, where they refuse to invest in certain neighborhoods based on the demographics of those neighborhoods. The federal government draws a big red line around Jesse Owens' neighborhood in Cleveland, refusing to invest in it. Now, in 2024, you can trace the red line districts from back then and see that those neighborhoods still have higher rates of poverty, illness, violence, all of these things. And they also have a correlation of being the most barren neighborhoods in terms of number of trees. Has anyone ever heard of tree bathing, forest bathing? Going out to be in nature and feeling the energy and spirit of trees, getting the physiological effects of their breathing in carbon dioxide and breathing out oxygen, the way that they communicate with other plants and trees around them. It's a spiritual experience, but it's also a natural experience. And the evidence of a correlation between number of trees in a neighborhood to overall positive health outcomes is really solid. Trees help offset temperature rises, spikes. Trees help clean the air of pollution. They help sequester carbon. Trees are incredible things. When Jesse Owens gets back to Cleveland, Ohio in 1936, he gets down on his hands and knees and plants these trees given to him by a monster. When he comes back to a place that continues to oppress him, he plants these seeds in the ground in direct defiance of both the fascism of Adolf Hitler and the oppression of 1930s America. Those trees grow and grow and grow. 3 of them possibly lost to history. One of them, we know exactly where it was and how it was. It was planted at the high school that he ran track at. And in 2017, that tree reached the end of its natural life. And it was going to die. And in the middle of the red-lined Cleveland neighborhood, where you would think, stereotypically, people might not care about trees, a community network gathered people of all races and classes to save this tree. And they did some tree alchemy. They got a new root system. They cut off a branch of the tree. They grafted it in and said some magic words. And they didn't do that just once. They did it lots of times. So now there are at least 4 actually, but they'll keep doing it. Identical trees, genetically identical trees to that one that Jesse Owens planted in 1936. In Cleveland, in these red line districts, where these trees will continue to fight oppression and continue to help and save people, to help heal people for the next 90 years, and on and on and on. When the tree gets to an end of its natural life, it actually puts all of its energy into reproducing and flowering and budding, trying to spread as far as possible. The phrase is the glory of a tree in distress. When it feels like you're at the end of something, that might be the time to put all of our energy into blooming and flourishing and creating new life. And taking that life, those twigs, the small little branches, and putting them into new roots, new seeds, and getting down on our hands and knees and planting them. It won't fix things right away. It won't make it better. It won't undo the election results. But it is an act of resilience and resistance and defiance and above all, love. The irony of a fascist giving a man the tools he needs to continue to fight fascism. It's not just a metaphor. It really happens. The hate that is poured out, the bad policies that are poured out, the hurt that is poured out. Inside of all that are the tools and the things that we need to do our work, to fight back, to love harder. And if it feels like you are under stress, that you are in distress, if it feels like you are in distress, let's put our energy into blooming, to flourishing, in defiance of what feels like the end. And in hope that if we do the work to put new roots down, we grow this thing into something that will continue to fight long after we're gone. When the American athletes came home, they did not want anything to do with the Hitler Oaks because they were given by fascism, by Nazism. Jesse Owens took what the world gave him, planted it in the ground, and grew it into something different. Because they're not called Hitler Oaks in Cleveland. They're called the Jesse Owens Olympic Oaks. And they're growing right now. Friends, may we find the seeds to plant. May we find the people to plant them with. And may we take courage from a line from my sacred scriptures that says, "Do not become discouraged in doing good, for in time we'll harvest if we do not give up." So while we have the opportunity, let us do good to all people, especially for those in our family of trust, of faith, of hope, of love. Let us do good and let us plant these seeds that will grow into something that will maybe one day make this better and make us feel better. May it be so. Friends, let's take a breath together. Invite our choir forward to offer their gift of hope and love today. switch on?
Yes, I keep turning it off and on. Nothing. Oh, there you go. There you go. I had to become Jamaican to make it come.
The words of this song were found at the end of World War II on a wall in one of the concentration camps.
I believe in the sun. I believe in the sun. Even when it's not shining. I believe in the sun. I believe in the sun. Even when it's not shining.
Okay, friends, so we're coming to the end of our service up here this morning. And I want to just check in. Ask yourself, where am I now? Has anything moved or shifted for me? Am I feeling in a different place than when I walked in? What we can do, what we need to do in these times is to spend the next few months building connections, building relationships, talking to each other, supporting one another, planting these seeds so that they'll start to grow when we need them. And to try not to let yourself get caught up